I'm going to log in to the local WordPress site I created earlier and take a look at how site administrators work with plugins. We'll look at how you can install and remove plugins. We'll look at the upgrading process and what it means to activate and deactivate a plugin. Finally, we'll look at how to delete a plugin that's already been installed. So to log into your WordPress admin, you'll go to whatever the URL is of your local WordPress install and just go /wp admin after that. And that'll take you to the login screen where you enter the username and password that you created when you set up the site. So over here on the left, you see this plugins link. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And this is where administrators go to manage plugins. And you can see that we've got a list of the plugins currently installed in this WordPress site. In this case, we just have the two defaults. One is called Akismet, which is a service that checks comments to determine if they're spam or not. And we have Hello Dolly, which is just a simple basic plugin to show how plugins work. Notice for each one, we've got some basic information. You have the plugin name, a description of what it does, a version number, the author, and a link to view additional details. Let's look at adding a new plugin. To do that, I'll just click this Add New button from the Plugins page. And with that, the entire WordPress.org directory is available right here in my WordPress admin, which is pretty cool. I can search all the plugins available in that directory. If I want to install any of these, say this theme check one looks good, I can click the Install button. So now it's installed, but it's not yet activated. By default, when plugins are installed, they're not going to run. They're just going to download the files into your WordPress installation. So to make them actually run, you need to activate them. Once they're activated, then they'll work. And of course, you can always go back and deactivate them later. I'm going to go ahead and activate this plugin. So when a plugin is not active, you see the Activate button, and when a plugin is activated, then you see the link to deactivate it. Now, deactivating a plugin doesn't actually uninstall it. In fact, depending on the plugin, it may leave behind some settings or configuration that you have for that plugin in the site database. If you ever have an issue come up when you activate a plugin, say a conflict with a different plugin or something, just go ahead and deactivate it. As an aside, if you ever get an error in your WordPress installation, one of the first troubleshooting steps you can take is to deactivate all your plugins and reactivate them one at a time to see if any of them might be the root of your problem. You can use this bulk tool to select all of these checkboxes and activate, deactivate, upgrade, or delete simultaneously. Now, if you have multiple plugins that need updating on a live site, I recommend only updating them one at a time. That way, if there's any problems, you know exactly who the culprit is. Let's talk a little bit about updating. How do you know if there's an update available for your plugin? Well, the plugin will typically let you know when there's a new version available, and you'll be able to see that right here from within your plugins page. Or there's also a nag from your dashboard to let you know that updates are available. Here I can see that Akismet is outdated. I'm going to go ahead and update it. And no problems, we're good to go. There may be times when you want to add a custom plugin or a plugin from some other source than the WordPress plugin directory. In that case, you're still going to click that Add New button, but this time you're going to click the Upload Plugin button. From there, you'd browse to the zip file that's already downloaded to your machine and click Install. Note that if you're installing a custom plugin or code from a third-party site such as GitHub, you may not receive notifications here when updates are available. In that case, you'll want to read the documentation for the plugin or review the plugin FAQs so that you know what to expect in terms of updates. If you can't find the answer in the plugin's documentation, try asking the author. If you can't get a hold of the plugin author and it looks like it hasn't seen an update for a while, you might just want to reconsider using that plugin. That said, any plugin you install from the WordPress plugin directory will automatically keep you notified of updates right here in your plugin admin area. One more thing I want to show you here, and that's this editor link. If you click this link, you can actually see the source files for your plugins. This enables you to directly edit plugin files from within your WordPress admin. You can even update the file. Using this feature is a terrible idea. All it takes is one syntax error in your code, and we know how easy that is to do, and it could crash your entire site. If you're working locally, like we are in this course, that's obviously not as a big deal as if you're working on a live site, But all the same, I strongly recommend avoiding this editor link altogether. Just pretend that it's not there. Instead, use a proper code editor to make changes as needed. We'll be doing that throughout this course.